Okay, last question before I turn it over to Zach. This is an actual basketball question, so this is exciting for you. You said Dwight Howard you thought was maybe a little overvalued at that number two spot in NBA rank because he plays a position that's in high demand. So there's a low supply of bigs who can do what he does. He does it really well. Is that different from being good?
I don't. Yeah, it is different from being good because you could be if Dwight Howard wasn't in the league, who's going to be the best center? Andrew Bynum, maybe. Somebody like that. What do you think would happen to his value as a center and therefore his NBA rank if Dwight Howard wasn't in the league and he was the best center in the league? I think it would go up. More than just the 1 point, one place by virtue of the fact that Howard isn't there anymore. I think that it is a supply and demand, and just like with prices, a low supply of centers is going to increase the demand for centers and is going to inflate the value of centers.
Larry, before I get into my asinine questions that I'm going to ask you, can you explain to me, would parity actually help the health of the league, or is that just like a nice fairy tale to give to like Bobcats fans and Hornets fans and stuff like that?
Yeah, to tell people like Michael Heisley when they go to bed at night. I like to think so. I like to think that parity is going to help. But there have been people doing a lot of studies, a lot of research saying that the effects aren't as great as you think. So I think it's kind of a unique situation, and it's something that we're really not going to know for sure until we get there. But I would like to think that anything you can do to level the playing field a little bit. Granted, you're never going to be able to completely equalize a team like Milwaukee with a team like the Lakers. The Lakers are always going to be in LA and have the nightlife and the beaches, and teams in Florida, the same thing, and they're going to have the tax advantages. There's certain, and Minnesota conversely is always going to have snow 6 months out of the year.
It's freezing here right now.
There's things that you're never going to be able to equalize. But I would like to think that by equalizing it some, doing more to give the teams with less money the ability to spend more, you're helping to balance it out, and then you're at the very least increasing parity. Now, whether parity is in turn going to increase revenue, increase viewership, because now you have teams in more leagues, teams in more cities who have more fans who are now watching, or it just becomes a more exciting product that's going to attract more people, that remains to be seen.
Okay, I've got 5 quick rapid fire questions for you. You sent pizza to the people covering this lockout coverage. How long would HoopSpeak Live have to run before you send us pizza?
Well, if you do a HoopSpeak Live for like 18 hours straight, like they were in the room for 18 hours straight, I might do something for you. In fact, Zach, I saw some bacon soda the other day, so I thought of you immediately. I tweeted the pic of that. And, if you're doing HoopSpeak Live for 18 hours straight, you're getting some bacon soda. I can promise you that. But
I'm going to hold you to that.
I've been in this. Oh, all right, I've been in that situation before. Even during the All-Star break in LA, when the media, when the Players Association had their conference after a bargaining session, they scheduled the press conference like a half an hour after the session broke up, across town in LA, so somebody wasn't too smart about that. So we ended up waiting there like 2 hours. And after 2 hours, I felt like somebody from the Donner Party. I was glancing around at everybody else trying to figure out who'd be the tastiest. So, even being there 2 hours, I was dying. And these guys have been there multiple days, sitting there, 8 hours, 10 hours when I sent them some pizza. And went even longer than that, went 16 hours. Henry Abbott wrote a piece talking about how nobody wants to take a break to go get food or drinks because you might miss something. And sure enough, he went out to get coffee, and by the time he came back, the press conference was over. He happened to run into David Stern and Adam Silver on the way out, and they repeated the press conference for him, which was basically a no comment. Well, kind of funny story there. But, these guys can't leave. And they're friends of mine. I've been in this situation before, so I decided to help them out.
All right. Speaking of the All-Star break, I heard you lost your contacts and had to be led around. If you lose your contacts at the labor negotiations, who do you want leading you around, David Stern or Billy Hunter?
No, I didn't lose my contacts. I have a set of reading glasses I use.
Or glasses, yeah.
Yeah, and one of the lenses fell out. I have no idea how that happened, but it not only did it fall out, it completely disappeared. I'm sitting there at the All-Star at this, I think it was at the Slam Dunk contest, and in the media section, they're gone. I'm crawling around the floor. I have other people crawling around the floor. Jackie McMullen, who's in the Hall of Fame, is crawling around the floor on her hands and knees on my behalf, looking around for this lens out of my glasses. It was very nice of her. It was amazing.
All right.
I'm sorry. What was your question?
So who would you rather have leading you around if you were without sight, Billy Hunter or David Stern?
Can I pick like a Laker girl or something like that?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. Leading me by the hand, either one of those two, neither really floats my boat so much.
All right, opening night of the NBA, who you got?
When is opening night of the NBA? Are we talking about
I was
Christmas?
hoping you would tell us.
If I'm going to be optimistic and say they're going to get this done this week, then you're looking at 30 days to get the season bootstrapped. So you're talking about, the end of November, maybe like a Thanksgiving time start to the season. So, we can stay optimistic about that. Otherwise, this is going to take until January, and who knows when opening day is going to be, if there's going to be one at all. You might be talking about the 2012 opening.
Okay, here's the most inappropriate segment we do. It's called Marry, Sleep With, Kill. You're a contract guy. Marry, sleep with, kill Gilbert Arenas' contract, Rashard Lewis's contract, or Hedo Turkoglu's contract.
So I got to do one for each?
Yep. Okay. You got to pick one.
Who are the three? Hedo,
Gilbert, and Rashard.
Gilbert's kind of interesting. Who was it that said that the if they have the amnesty provision in the next agreement, they should call it the Gilbert Arenas provision this time? After Allen Houston, for whom the Knicks didn't even bother to use it on. I think that it'd be a nice parallel because with Gilbert Arenas, you're still paying the guy the money. And Orlando would be stuck for a big chunk of change to have Gilbert not pay for them. I think that depending on how the CBA works, and if they provide a franchise tag or really good bird incentive to keep a guy with the same team, then maybe they're going to be able to keep Dwight Howard. On the other hand, maybe they're going to get resigned to the fact that they're going to lose Dwight Howard, and they got to trade him and get something for him while they can. If they do that, then it'd be a lot better to say, hey guys, you want Dwight Howard? Here he is. Here's our condition though. You've got to take Gilbert Arenas' contract off our hands with Dwight Howard. If you want Howard, that's our price. And that way you're getting rid of Arenas and you're getting rid of having to pay a salary too. Instead of the amnesty provision where you also have to pay a salary, and you don't get full salary cap relief according to what Ken Berger published today. So you do that, then you try and amnesty Hedo Turkoglu, for example, and that's going to work out a lot better for them. So potentially Gilbert Arenas' contract, marry.
Okay, so last question. James Herbert, our producer, has to use the amnesty clause on one of us. Who's getting the axe, me, Ethan, or Beckley?
I hear that you have a pretty expensive per diem because of all that bacon you buy. So, it's just strictly for financial reasons, Zach, but I'm sorry you have to go.
Oh, dozen of fans. Dozen.
It's got to be
Zach literally brings in 3 or 4 people to this show every week, but I think your economic reasoning is sound, Larry.
It's bang for the buck, Zach. It's the only reason. And it's the hat.
Oh, it's freezing here. I have no choice.
Thank you. All right, cool. Well, thanks a lot, Larry, for coming on. Hopefully we'll have actual basketball to talk about, and maybe you can help us break down whatever the resolution is that comes out of this.
That'd be great.
Thanks, Larry.
All right, and enjoy your white, beautiful, I don't know where you are, in either interrogation room or, some, dreamscape, but enjoy wherever that is.
It's heaven.